Now, hat proportion, people, finger picking class to get started a little on blues in the key of E. We're going to have an E chord, and E chord, you know how to make that. If you put your pinky on string 2 fret 3, that gives you an E7th. Plenty of other chords that we can have, but we're just going to focus on sevenths and a sixth on this. And we'll get into that shortly, but initially you can even just start it on just this basic E. See, I've just got this bass going, this alternated bass between strings 6 and string 4. They're both E notes, an octave apart. And I've talked about how you can have a plucked note. See, I'm plucking whatever bass note I'm hitting there. I'm just plucking string 1 with it. That's a 1 and approach. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So you can mix that in, whatever pleases you when you do the blues. That's a great part about the blues. Whatever pleases you. So I'll give you a little lead into that. I want you to put your index finger at string 2 fret 3. That's a D note. String, and your middle finger at string 3 fret 4. And we're just going to do a little bluesy descend there. What am I doing there? I'm hitting, this is an arpeggiation. String 3, 2, 1 with my fingers at string 2 fret 3, and my middle finger at string 3 fret 4, string 1 open throughout the entire thing. And I just move that formation down to something you've heard a million times. And when I get to the point where my index finger is now off and I've got an open string 2 and an open string 1, I have my middle finger at string 3 fret 1. I just pluck all 3 of those together because I'm now at the top of an A chord. And then I hit string 5 open, string 5 fret 1 with my index, and string 5 fret 2 with my middle finger, and then I form a B7th, and the way I form that B7th is middle finger on string 5 fret 2, index finger on string 4 fret 1, ring finger on string 3 fret 2, and pinky on string 1 fret 2. And I'll let that go at that for the moment. So the chords that I'm going to be using in this 12-bar blues progression is I'm going to use an E, and I'm going to alternate the bass for that E chord between a string 6 open and string 4 fret 2. And then I'm going to come down to an A7th, and I'm going to form that by just barring strings 1, 2, 3, and 4 with my index finger at fret 2, and then put my middle finger or ring finger, if that's easier. You're going to prefer the middle finger, or that'll do you better to get used to you putting your middle finger there. But if it's easier right now, use just your ring finger, as I'm showing here. That's an A7, and then the B7 that I showed up here has that sound, and you want to alternate those basses. See, and I've got a nice little backbeat going there with that second one. Boom, boom. Come down to the A7th, and I'm alternating string 5, which is the open string, and string 4 fret 2, back to the A, or the E, excuse me. Now I have a real funky sound here because what I'm alternating here is a B note, that's the root of the chord, with a 7th down on string 3. So let's put that together. You put that into a 12-bar blues progression. It comes out something like this. Now to the B 7th chord, A 7th chord, E. And then a turnaround to a B 7th. But now let's just either pluck or hit, just string 1 through that progression and see what comes out. Only on string 1. And just add anything. So you can just kind of listen to this. And what I'm adding there is a 7th note on that E chord. Keeping this real simple. There's that 7th again. Down to the A chord, back to the E. Turn around to a B. So an E chord, to an A 7th chord, to the E, to a B 7th, to an A 7th, to an E. One more time to get the little flow here. Not doing anything fancy. Just bringing in, either pinching those notes, those melody notes, phrasing. Or just use that one string. And there you go. You can fool around with that forever, or until your wife or roommate leaves you, whatever comes first. But that's just a 12-bar blues with E. There's plenty more you can do with that, as I'm sure you can hear. But right now, just real simple, just. There you go. See you next week.